Good evening, South Aiken. This is Kirk Godby from Fort Mill, South Carolina. Welcome you here to Midland Valley. I'm going to be doing visual performance. So you're just now coming on the field. I'll let you get all set up, and when you're ready to go, I'll be back. All right, folks, here we go. Yeah, okay, nice initiation from the guard. Let's try to have a little bit more full range of expression maybe from the guard here as we come up. Okay, yes, reshaping from the winds. Some of the confusion about the actual step off here from the winds, even in the pattern, not quite working out for us. Yeah, okay. Get good initiation from the flags. All right, thank you for the pose and the winds. Looks pretty uniform across the band. It's a little bit of a timing issue, cover down issues here as we in the contrary motion. We got to make sure the upper bodies are aligned correctly. So really fighting here for where our form is. Yeah, you'll find as you come into that move, you'll be much more successful if you can get the upper bodies all aligned to the front so they can see each other. They can cover down on that. When the shoulders are tilted, when the hips are tilted, it's impossible to really do a good cover down. Yeah, and as we pull back out here, we have the same issue. They're really not squared up from the shoulders and the hips. All right, yeah, good staging here for the woodwinds. Fairly uniform on the stance. Yeah, we can make sure here, brass players, as we move in and out of this form, that we're doing a little bit better job of the marching technique. And woodwinds, as we come across, we need to have a stronger upper body alignments. The brass players seem to understand the slide concept pretty well. Yeah, I like the form here for the woodwinds is really strong. It's just not particularly lined up. Good staging here for the guard. All right, rotational element. It's handled pretty well. There's definitely some alignment and spacing issues on the woodwind side. We've got to make sure we step off together. Yeah, well, let's try to be a little bit more successful there with the timing of the flags. Let's make sure all the flute players are holding the flutes up exactly parallel to the ground. There's some step-off issues as far as when the flutes step off. Let's have better timing here with the guard. It's like we're all doing the same work. It's like we're all doing the same guard work, but we don't really have the checkpoints and the counts, so we're not agreeing exactly when things should initiate and when they should be at a certain checkpoint. Every count should be determined. Okay, yeah, good snap back to the attention position. Okay, we got to be careful now as we're moving into the linear here that we all understand how the form evolves so that none of us get there before we're supposed to. Interesting little sequential element there. Okay, a little bit more free here. Yeah, I don't know that I would use these snapping movements here. Just be free with this. I appreciate that you're in step. Yeah, you could really sort of just flutter into where you're going. These little teeny steps are not effective from an effect standpoint, and they're really hard to maximize out from a performance standpoint as well. Yeah, anytime you're taking those little teeny slow steps, you really have to emphasize the technique. You might want to pull these groups into smaller pods or something here. The form is not readable. If it's supposed to be random, then it needs to be more random, or pull them into tighter, smaller groups. Flutes, let's get those flutes up. Yeah, facings in the flute section are really not consistent member to member. Yeah, careful here on the chain flag, that we keep that flag in motion and we have those checkpoints again. It's like, once again, we're doing kind of the same flag work, but it's not together at all because you have to clean the wrist when you're doing a chain flag. Flutes, let's get our flutes up. Some aberrations of the form here in the winds. I think it's supposed to be a symmetrical form. But you can see left to right, the back curve there is certainly not anything close to symmetrical. Looks like the tubas are dented in maybe, or if that's what it's supposed to be, then the saxophone section certainly doesn't agree. Opportunity for some band visuals here. Let's try to be more lyrical with the flag here. Yeah, listen to what it is that you're portraying here. This is not a moment to show every flag skill that you know. It's a chance to portray what you're hearing musically. Fairly good form as far as readability. Looks like the clarinets from the far left and the saxophones are dented in. Looks like you probably want that curve to be convex all the way around. Check your spacing in the back curve between the tubas, baritones, trombones. So obviously we don't know the end of the drill yet, which is understandable for this time of year. So good job, folks. We'll talk about the color guard a little bit here. Yeah, okay, good initiation here. Timing is certainly better here. Yes, make sure we understand our counts. Yeah, we've got to make sure that we understand the ending as far as when the hand is going to go out. Okay, guys, great job today. Got a lot on the field for this time of year. A lot of great things already happening for the band. We need to really make sure that we continue to work to get everybody's feet in time. At any time, there's a number of people really out of phase. So it's not really even out of step, it's out of phase. And then there's a whole other element of group that was out of step in time, but out of step a good bit of time. The most troublesome thing that I'm seeing, it's a consistent issue, is the upper body alignment, particularly from the woodwind section. The brass players seem to have a pretty good understanding of how to do a slide, but the woodwinds are pretty varied. Some of them do, but unfortunately a good number of them either don't or won't. So we need to make sure that we have a consistent approach to that as well. Because a lot of time when we're not displaying a particularly good style of step. And I'm watching you leave the field here. You seem to understand generally what a good style of step should be. But we get it, particularly when we're taking really small steps, we sort of just scoot across the grass rather than making the effort it takes to get the toes up and the heels down so that we continue to have a consistent style of step no matter what size step you're taking. All right, guys, great job today. Appreciate your efforts and enjoyed your show very much. Best of luck.